Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Ooh, it's an exciting one, guys. Finally, I picked up one of my most wanted Void legendaries about a week ago, SENNA Amber Heart. I've been waiting for the Chimera reset to build her out. Super excited about this champ. So what's going on? A1 attacks an enemy, 50% chance, boosts to 60 to instantly activate a continuous heal on an ally. A2 puts out increased speed, puts 2 heals on our allies for 2 turns, and gives them a nice juicy turn meter feel. And then A3 is a full revive for your team. Then teams up with allies revived to attack the enemy with the lowest HP. The allies joining the attack will use their default skills. This is quite cool as well. So yeah, 4-turn cooldown on the revive. The passive here, whenever a heal is activated on an ally, don't forget she's putting it out on your team, fills the turn meter of all allies by 5%. So you're just constantly getting this turn meter fill with this champion. And at the end of this turn, increases the duration of a continuous heal on a random ally for a turn as well. So it's just bonkers, heals, 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 keep your team alive whilst pushing their turn meter up really fast. We've got speed in all battles as well. So I was looking on the optimizer here for an interesting like Chimera team. I'm not going to copy this exact team, but I like the idea of this team. So we've got SENNA Amber Heart here in full protection gear. So all of those buffs she's putting out, chance to protect them. We've got Fidey here as a kind of like reset the cooldown of skills type of champion, plus more healing as well for your squad. I've got Lady Mikage for ally attacks. And I'm thinking pair her with someone from Shadowkin that hits hard to get the A1 extra damage away. And then we've got 2 enemy max HP nukers right now. So I'm thinking bring a newt, because why wouldn't you bring a newt? But then I've got the last slot here. I could put a Crizia in, but I'm thinking either a ninja, because ninja's going to give me the synergy with Lady Mikage, or maybe Harima, because again, same thing. Harima will help me stay alive as well, which is quite interesting. So I'm thinking I'm going to build out Harima and see how that goes. And then if that's not cutting the do, I'm going to retry and put Ninja in the squad and see if that's an improvement. But really interesting team. And obviously on the optimizer, I can just come in. So I'll just give you a quick showcase of what's going on here. I'm literally coming into the team optimizer setting on the left. I'm looking at the content I want to fight. I'm hitting find team. And then I'm looking for like interesting teams that I might want to try and beat. I could go one step further and say must include my SENNA. That's what I'm looking for. And really what the optimizer's doing here is it's just saying, based on your champions and other people that have run the optimizer whilst they've done a hit, these are the best teams we can find. Now, doesn't mean I can necessarily hit the gear requirements here. So obviously I'm going to do my best and put out, you know, my version of this team. So I could just add them to the team optimizer. And if I want to just like flick back between the two, I could just say, oh, let me see that team again. Okay, what gear sets were they wearing? What masteries did they have? All that type of stuff. So pretty cool vibe. We've got an accuracy aura here from Mikage, which means we're gaining 80 accuracy up and above what we've already got for anyone who needs it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm going to go into building these out and see what we can do. So let's start with my Mikage then. I'm going to go balance mode, base form. We're going to go for, I can just see the stats of what was already in the mix. So I'm going to say minimum 350, knowing what my gear's like. I don't need any accuracy for her build for her base form. She doesn't do any debuffs. So really what we're saying here is probably, maybe I actually do just punch higher speed and see if I can make this happen. Resistance I would like to hit, so I can say apply recommended resistance here, and it will show what resistance I need for this content. I'm going to throw that in. Maybe I will pull that back down to 350 after seeing that number and see if that will work. And then I'm just going to say like give me decent HP and defense. Don't really care about any other stats. In sets, I do want to add the protection set in. I've done a bit of pre-work because I want a 9-piece set. I've done a bit of pre-work on my account and just said, right, mainly for me, it's accessories. Do I have enough accessories rolled up in that set? So all I've done is I've actually just rolled one of each, which felt like they'd be best to max so the optimizer can find it. And then I can also tell it about glyphs. So I could be like, hold on a minute. Do I have any speed glyphs? I probably don't. I don't really have speed glyphs. I feel like I never have speed glyphs. I do have, though, some resistance. I've got some little accuracy ones, generally some smallish HP ones. Damn, I literally farm Faction Wars every day. Every single day. And glyphs, man. Glyphs are so tricky to keep up with. So resistance, I'm just going to say I could give it +7. Speed, there's not really anything in the bank. And the rest of it is kind of fine. So that's Lady Mikage's done. Let's look at Feedy here. So the saved team. What do we have? Relentless gear. Cool. I very rarely put Relentless on people. He's got a lot of accuracy. I don't feel like he does need accuracy. I think that might just happens to be what's in his gear. Let me just double check that. Healing. Okay, yeah, no, sorry. He does. He's got decreased speed. Okay, yeah. Let me just check his masteries. So we've got a resistance build on him right now in protection gear, actually. I might just like this build I've already got. So saying that, I've got 357 resistance, which isn't really enough. Because the team I run him in, I am as the lead. So his accuracy at 330 is not really enough either. So maybe we do. Maybe we change it up. Let's see if I can go in line with what they're doing. So they've got like 480 accuracy because they hit the minimum, but they don't have enough resistance here. So we're going to go balance mode, stats. We're going to apply recommended accuracy. We're going to try and hit the speed. We're going to push for HP and defense. And then in sets, we're going to go with relentless. And then glyphs, again, I can just be like, I can give you a bit of accuracy, not a lot. 5. Okay. SENNA. Let's see what we're doing with SENNA. So SENNA was protection gear with enough resistance to resist stuff and then high HP, high speed. So SENNA, again, balance mode. We're going to hit that minimum 300 speed. I might try and go faster, actually. Let's try 330. Resistance, apply the minimum. Resistance, and then give me HP and defense. And again, 9-piece protection. This might be harsh on the account, we will see. And Newt we're keeping in, so that's not the right Newt for me. I've got 2 Newts. I want the one that's got a 6-star crushing rend. Damage mode. So they've actually got him here in merciless gear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-piece merciless. So that he's basically getting reduced cooldowns from his skills, which makes a ton of sense. So let's see if we can do the same. I think I've got mine right now in reflex gear anyway, so it's not a million. Let me just check actually before I go out and build. No, I've got savage gear on. The other one is in lethal. So let's do damage mode, minimum 230 speed. I'm gonna get you know what? I'm putting the accuracy up as like the minimum, but I do have that 80 accuracy. So actually, yeah, more like 350 accuracy. Just see where else I do that. Fighty here, same thing. Bring that down to make that build a lot easier. Okay, so 350 accuracy, 230 speed. Then we're just going damage. And let's see if we can go merciless with a 6-piece count. I know that I don't have a lot of merciless in accessories for that set. So we'll see if that's any good. And then finally my Atrisia, who's going to switch out as well. So Atrisia is going to become Harima, which is going to give me that decreased attack as well, more consistently. So I'm basically dropping a bit of damage, but increasing my survivability by quite a lot. And it's still good damage. It's not like it's bad damage. So we're going to go damage mode, because that's also going to be how she survives, because she's defense-based. We're going to go for maybe a bit faster on her speed. So like 280. I do need accuracy, so again, 350 accuracy. That feels good. Sets. Do I need to worry about sets on her? How many debuffs? I think she only puts 1 debuff out, so it's not like it's worth having feral. So yeah, I think it's just damage. Damage set. I think that is about that. Just let them know that we got some accuracy glyphs, but not a lot. Same with Newts. And for Newt, we're going to take off of lock champions, but not tier 5. Harima can just take the same. Probably same for all of these, actually. And then we hit Optimize. Now, if you've got people that are vying for the same gear, you definitely want to make sure you put their order in the right place here, because it's going to like filter through your gear. So I generally put whoever needs faster gear at the top. Let's pull my limiter up a bit. It's going to take a while. hit the optimize, and let it rock. Right then, the optimizer has found a bunch of builds. So Mikado, I can just view each one here. As long as I've got the game open on my roster screen, I can literally go in and just equip in-game for each of these builds. So let's just check who we're stealing from. I'm going to be stealing from a lot of my champions that have already got gear, because I only said exclude people that have got a level 5 lock, because I do want to make sure this is a big build. You can see here I'm reducing my damage by a lot, but Mikado is not really about damage. So for me, this is fine. So let me just check the other builds as well. Make sure I'm not stealing from someone I'm going to regret. Kind of going to regret a couple of these, but we can rebuild those afterwards. 319 speed. Got my accuracy. Tons of HP. My SENNA. Okay, my SENNA I could not find a build for, so I have to do that separately after. Newt is going to be stealing from my Trunda. Yikes. And from Carnage. Actually, want to change that. And Harima from my Mikado, which is fine. 280 speed with 7.1k defense, 322 crit damage, and this is before I look at relics. So I think what I'll do, I'll equip a couple of these, and I'll go back and change a couple of these builds so I don't end up stealing from people that I want to protect. Easy way for me to do that is literally just go in and say, actually, Trunda, you should have been a 5 lock, and then I'll rerun this build. Same with my Carnage. I don't want to steal from him. Rest of them are fine. And yeah, we get these bits equipped in game, and then I'll show you the final builds. Okay, finished doing my builds yesterday, and now let's show them off, see where we got to. So we've got 9-piece protection on Lady Mikado here. Obviously, with protection, so not only are we getting really protected buffs, we're also getting more damage per buff placed by this wearer for my team. So 9-piece protection is pretty mental. I kind of got to a point where I just ran out of the Ascension stuff, so I've got plenty of the first tier, but not much of the rest, and I've also completely run out of dust, so any advancements that I could make to gear is going to have to wait for another time. We got 350 speed, enough resistance, probably more than I need actually, and a load of defensive stats for her, and I've gone for this Gilded Dragonstone to give me more defense stacking up, and Masteries we just got. It was basically what I already had, but War Master and sort of buff extension stuff. For Fidey here, I've got Resistance Masteries. Well, basically, it's full support Masteries. We've got Brimstone as his blessing. This was, again, already had it equipped, just like a potential chance to keep him alive if he was going to drop, plus more resistance in his build. We've got Relentless Gear on. We've got, 330 odd speed, very good defensive stats, and then enough accuracy and resistance. The main event for today, SENNA, my new champ. We did get to the 9-piece protection as well, so she's going to be putting out a load of buffs, getting us a load more damage. She does have enough resistance with that resistance buff from Fidey, so that should be good. Again, I've got this Orb of Transfixation here, not really for anything other than the stats, and end up going resistance on the main mastery just to try and push that a little bit more. But yeah, really could do with her blessing for her. Okay, my 2 damage dealers then. So Harima is at 250 speed, crit capped, which is unusual for me. She's got enough accuracy. We've got 334 crit damage, nearly 7k on the defense. That's without any empowerment here. Lethal gear as well. Now, at the moment, I've got this Malefic Talon. I've only got 1 Cat's Gaze on my account. I guess for this test, I'm going to put the Cat's Gaze on. But it's tricky because I've only got 1. It's currently on Teox. Teox is like my main arena nuker, so he's going to need it back. But yeah, I think for this fight, we're going to just go full beans. Obviously, Harima does not need the attack, but that extra crit damage is going to be juicy. I've still got Helm Smasher on here. I don't know if that's going to be better or not, but I'm just trying to get to basically ignoring defense because I don't have a drop defense in the team. Okay, and then the other one is the big boy Newt. I'm just wondering actually if that is why Krizia's in the team for the previous team is for that drop defense. Might end up being a mistake, and it might be that Ninja is just straight better because he does bring the drop defense versus Harima. Anyway, we can try it. If this does not do silly numbers, I can switch Ninja in and see if that does good work as well. So Newt here, Currently got just this Malfic Talon for, again, more crit damage. I don't have much better than this. We do have Giant Slayer on him for a bit more damage generally. I could not get to a better build than this, but it's pretty big. 244 speed, 357 crit damage, 5.1k defense. Got enough accuracy to land his weaken as well. So you can see here, like, I'm just struggling for not enough essence to make all this stuff as good as it can be, but it is pretty good. I do get to 6-piece Merciless, which gives me 35% ignore defense. And yeah, let's give this bad boy team a roll. So into the Chimera, has properly reset. We're onto like the new Clash. So we're getting anything good for last time. Plenty of clan gold, plenty of rare glyphs, because I'm not doing many trials right now. Let's get into this. This was my old team. My old team, I was getting a decent, like, you know, somewhere around 141 up to 170, I guess, million damage, which was pretty decent. But we're going to try the new squad. So I've now changed to Crushing Rend, by the way. It's already had a Cruelty. Sitting here with Mikage, Fidey, Newts, not that one, bigger one than that. And who's missing? My new champ, Senna, who's unblessed right now. One of the few. Okay. So I guess just for the forms, basically, I never want for Mikage to change form. Against the Ram, pretty much for everybody, I just want to do A1s. Let me just see what I did here. Pretty sure, yeah. So the Rams, generally, what I'll do with the Ram is just turn everyone's main abilities off that can kill themselves. And that way, I can still run it on auto, because I don't always want to manual this fight. I can still run it on auto, and we're kind of good. So generally here, I think we're going to be wanting to go first on the ally attack, second on the buff increase, and then obviously she can use this. Ram form, I don't want to do the ally attack. Guess this is still relevant though. It's cool. For everything else, I think we just basically do the same, where we're basically trying to maximize damage when we're on full auto. Obviously, if you're on manual, good thing to do is as you get towards the end of a form, you just kind of like get your abilities back for the next form is kind of a good rule of thumb. So really we want to be prioritizing the A2 to get our increased defense up. Do I ever want an A3? I don't think so, because the A1 hits really hard and does a decreased attack. And I think probably just want to do that across the board. Feedy here, Fidey, Fody Fum. Definitely want to get this decreased speed out there. And then we'll have the secondary to reset the cooldown of our skills. For the Ram, I don't want to decrease his speed because he's a nightmare. So it's probably, I still want to get my Perfect Veil up to reduce the damage I take. And then we just want to do this. And then Newts, obviously we want to Blessed Bash whenever we can. I mean, for Newt, you can actually still Blessed Bash because he does heal. But it can get risky. Definitely don't want to do this. And then Senna, I think, has a pretty good AI anyway. So I'm just going to leave her AI as is. Okay, let's get this rolling. So we've got Brimstone on one. We've got Cruelty on Mikage at full whack. I've got Crushing Rend on both my Newt and my Harima to open up more damage, basically to ignore even more of this fella's defense. And you can see, because basically all of my buffs near enough are protected, and if they're not, I've got increased resistance on. I should hold on to my buffs really effectively. We've got Mikage when she does an A1. Harima comes in with her A1, which is juicy. And then you can just see all of this turn me to boost. Turn me to boost times 2. Turn me to boost times 6. Turn me to boost times 3. Like, we're still on turn 1. And everybody is just getting a crazy number of attacks off, which is pretty mental. I think that's like the second Blessed Bash already for Newt. And this dude's not even had a turn yet. He's like, what the hell is going on? So yeah, I'm gonna let this bad boy roll through. I'll basically come in where it looks like it's getting dodgy on on certain like heads and stuff, and see if I can't just try and steer things in the right direction. I do have my fail-safe revive if things get juicy, certainly against the ram form. And yeah, and we do have a good amount of healing just generally to keep me topped up. Look at that. How many 14k heals just popped off at one point there when we didn't even need them? Turn meter, turn meter, turn meter. It's actually crazy. Actually crazy how much turn meter we get from Senna here. Anyway, let's play through and let's see what happens out the other end. I did fail my first run. I just want to come back in here to show you what I did wrong because I totally forgot about it. The ram form attacks the person with the lowest crit damage. And I hadn't considered it in my builds actually, but I had my Senna as my lowest crit damage originally. And I've switched that over to make sure that it's Fidey now so that she doesn't take the ram form because she's my reviver, right? So I absolutely need her to be able to revive when that form goes off. Run 2, let's go again. Okay, coming towards the end here, 164 million damage. We got a couple of trials along the way. It's definitely not a trials team. I could have probably got 1 or 2 more, but not many more with this squad. So I need some changes to it. But it is really, really consistent in terms of staying alive. Like my other team, sometimes I had to run it 3 or 4 times in case I died like midway. I've basically let this run full auto. And yeah, we're coming in around 170 mil, which was the top end of what my previous team could do. It's not a dramatic change in terms of like my damage numbers from before, but damn, it is so reliable. What I'm going to do, separate video, I'm going to change the Harima spot. I'm going to change the Harima spot for multiple damage dealers and see what we do. I mean, in fairness though, Harima's done 69 mil. She's not that far behind Newt as 85, really. Obviously, we get barely any damage from our Senna or Fidey or Mikade. Fidey's done a bit, actually, 10.5 mil. I guess that's his Brimstone. But yeah, it's all about these two. So it's like, how do you maximize the damage of your 2 spots? But there you go. Senna giving me bazillion turns. Really good fun. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.